Hi folks, welcome back to the Addicted Bookworm. Alrighty, so today's the 16th of March, and it is the day before St. Patrick's Day. So I was going to do this in May when I hit the half year mark. However, I decided to actually do this today because it's like, okay, I'm going to start doing this monthly because it's something that I really would like people to see my journey through using this device. So this is for people that are new to my channel, this is my Nook Glowlight for Ocean Teal. This has 32 gigabytes of external storage, or no, internal storage, internal storage. It can hold thousands and thousands and thousands of books. I'm currently reading Tears of the Wolf by Elizabeth Wheatley, and I am at, hold on a second. I'm at 59% of the book read, so I will have this book read in a couple days. I'm actually going to read it as much as I can tonight, and then tomorrow when I wake up I will read more. So I got this back in November, and I really had to double check. I was like, yeah, I was right. Last month it was 3 months. So this is 4 months I've had this device. So first of all, I want to say that the Nook Glowlight 4 is not waterproof. This is one of the things that I was very aware of when I purchased it. I do have the Nook Glowlight 4 Plus. I've had this for almost a year now. This is waterproof, and I use this when my Ocean Teal Nook is being recharged, so I can continue to read and everything. The battery is actually better on here than on this one, but what I like about this device is that it is small, it is very, very light, and even with the case, it's light. I do plan on to get a clear case for it because it does have a protective film on it, so that you don't have to worry about it, and also I don't have nails, so I do have nails, but they're very short. I don't have to worry about doing that. Now, unlike the Kobo where you have to spend a little close to maybe $290, they have the page turn buttons on each side. The Kobo only has it on the right. So if you're left-handed, you're kind of out of luck. On here, it has the buttons on both sides. So if you are left-handed, you can just do this. I like to change the buttons on my right hand, so that's what I do. Just like with the Kobo, the power button is located. The power button is located here, and on my 4 Plus, the power button is located right here. So you don't have to buy the Kobo to get the power button not down at the bottom. One of the other things that I like about it is the store. They have deals all the time on books. So if you don't have a lot of money to spend on books, you can always get books very cheaply, which is always great. Now, the only thing about this device is that unless you're computer savvy or you're tech savvy, you cannot transfer library books from Libby over to this device. That's why I have my Kindle to do that for me. I have no problem with that. You also do read a lot faster on the Nook compared to the Kobo. And also just like with the Kobo, this is a black and white display screen. I am fine with that. I actually have a Nook reading tablet, and if I want to read things like graphic novels or like manga, I can do that. But also, you can archive books. Like once you're done reading a book, you can archive it and send it to your cloud. Now, some people say the Nook, you cannot use it internationally. There have been people on the internet that have said that they have no problem using their Nook internationally. That as long as you have your card on file, you will have no issues. I have so many books on here that if I went on a trip to another country, as long as the books are on the device, I would have no problem accessing them, and that would be what would be really important for me, is having that access. I like this device because it is not connected to Amazon. There are people out there that get really ticked off when they realize that their Nook that they just bought, you cannot get like Freedom McFadden. That's because Freedom McFadden is tied in with Amazon, and that's why you can't read the books on the on there. That is not really a problem for me. I don't read Freedom McFadden a whole bunch of times. I do plan on to read all the Freedom McFadden books that I already have as physical editions, and then at some point in the future I will read the digital ones that I don't have. It's cute. It's so adorable. I love it. The battery life is not really great, but that's fine. Because I can just recharge it and then just use this. So that's not really an issue for me. I don't really care. Also, this one, you don't have access to audiobooks, and that's because the Glowlight 4 is not meant to be used for audiobooks. However, you can use the audiobooks on here. So, yeah. So, when I'm done with Tears of the Wolf, I'm going to actually, because I have like 100 and some, I have, see here, actually have 129, so what I would do is like, when I get to like every 10, so I'll be like, 2, so if I'm counting 10 books, I would read Matt Dinniman's the Operation Bounce House will be the next book that I will actually read. I like their store. I like how they operate. I love Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble is so much better than Amazon, especially if you're just walking in there and you want to get, you want to talk to the employees about, hey, what books do you think I would actually like? And they would tell you, hey, I read this book, and this book was really great, and, and I would recommend it. And they're like, oh, okay, well, what was it about the book that you liked? What was you can ask all those questions to a Barnes & Noble employee. You can't with Amazon. You cannot. I will say that this is actually my favorite small e-reader. I love it. It's, as I said, it's light, even with the case. I love it. 32 gigabytes of storage is awesome. I am going to, at some point in the future, I will be getting another one of these, just in case, because even though this is new, I still want to, just in case something happens. And even if I only get the black one, I don't really care. But I will say it has to have the 32 gigabytes of memory. But this is just a really great e-reader. Yes, as I said before, it's not waterproof, but I don't read in the bathtub, or if I am out, and it's raining, I will just bring this with me. So it's not a big deal. I just think that the Nook Glowlight 4 is so much better. I am having so much fun reading on it. I am getting the hang of annotating on here, which is great. And yeah, so this is like the last e-reader I'm ever going to buy. Except, this is the last e-reader I'm ever going to buy. However, I'm going to have to buy a replacement for my Kindle. yeah, I'm doing a video about that as soon as I'm done with this one. So anyways, for people that want to get away from Amazon but doesn't really care about borrowing books directly from the library, definitely get the Nook. It is just so much better than it. Also, something else. On this device, I have Libby. I can easily borrow books from Libby and put it on this device, which will go on all the other devices, and that's not a problem. Alrighty. Anyways, that is my video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.